Good afternoon. I'm Robert Tan. From your wallet to the wider economy, join us as we follow the money. Being a virtual assistant has become a career for many Filipinos. It's an escape from the 9 to 5. You can work from anywhere, earn in dollars, and have more control over your life. But behind the success stories, what does life really look like for a VA? We discuss this with the founder and CEO of Virtual Assistant Portal Philippines, Mary Cavita. Good afternoon, Mary. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Robert. Thank you for having me.
We're so glad to have you here. Now, Mary, kinuwento mo, you started first as a teacher becoming a virtual assistant. What was that exact moment when you thought being a VA could now turn into a really valuable business today?
Actually, I started as a teacher and then I became a call center agent before I started to do freelancing. Actually, it started when I was working in BlackBerry, and then it's really an accident. I just, I heard it from my colleague. She's working from home, so I just said, oh, why not? I would just try it. And then there's no Facebook that time, so my best friends are YouTube and Google. So I learned from scratch.
Yes. Well, marami nagsasabi like, some accidents are the best opportunities, and you took it without even knowing what it would be like being in the call center. How different is it working sa call center as being a virtual assistant?
Actually, it's really different po. But for me, it's not a competition. For me, we complement each other because in call center, it gave millions of Filipinos, around the world, not around the world, but in the Philippines, work. So it helps our economy. But at the same time, those people who are doing freelancing, it gives us an opportunity to those who don't need to go to the office. So, it reach a broader Filipinos wherein we will have, an ongoing income in a monthly basis. So it's really different po because in call center, it's a repetitive job wherein you will just answer the call, you will troubleshoot, if you're a tech support like me before. But in VA, it's really broad. Like we do social media, we do website, AI automation, bookkeeper, we do a lot of things, even admins like, an assistant.
So marami talaga, you can be a virtual assistant as long as, let's say, you know how to do websites, you know how to do scheduling. But what does it really take? Give us a glimpse, yung journey mo from being a teacher, going to the call center, and then finding VA, which has now become your bread and butter.
Yeah, actually, as I mentioned, it happened by an accident. And then after I learned the ins and outs of being a freelance virtual assistant, I had this client. She's very kind. I'm still grateful for her up until this point because she was the one giving me the opportunity. So we had this Facebook Live. This was 11 years.
The one in UK?
Yes, the one in the UK. This was 11 years ago. VA is nothing that time. Like, nobody knows about us. And then when the clients in the UK heard about freelancing, virtual assistants like that, during the live Q&A, they started to message me wanting them to hire me. Like they wanted to pirate me that time. And then the client said like, I told her like, let's do this as a business because you will be the one to give the clients and then I will be the one to provide the VA. So that's how it started.
How hard was the transition? Because again, when you were working as a call center agent, you said it was repetitive. But then when it comes to VA, it's a very broad spectrum. You can do anything from scheduling, website design, anything you can do from a laptop now with internet. What was the struggle going into that?
Actually, there's no struggle. As if you're a person who's really who have this go-getter attitude, like, and for me, I never stopped learning up until this point. Like, I'm curious by nature. So if you wanted to learn more, that's where you will adapt, and then you will be flexible, and then that's how you will grow as a VA.
No backup, because it's different to have foreign clients than working here in the Philippines. Iba yung culture nila sa culture natin. So how did you, let's say, learn in terms of how to grasp the culture in the UK and translate that into becoming a successful virtual assistant?
Actually, it took me a while before I adapt their culture. What happened before when we started the very first, freelance business 10 years or 11 years ago was that I became the face of the business. So I'm the one to do the interview. No, not the interview first. I'm the one to having client meetings. And then interview process with the VAs up until the onboarding. So that's how I really adapt in a way that I learn how they communicate, what do they like, expectation-wise, I learn how, how you will solve their problems and everything. So I think it's more about learning, and you should never stop.
What kind of success stories do you have with those that you have helped to become virtual assistants themselves, being able to work from home? Is it true that you can earn up to 6 digits, or because that's what we see that everybody is putting up online? How true is that?
Actually, it's very true, that you can really earn 6 digits, but it depends on you. It depends on how many clients you will work with. It depends on the skills that they acquire, because clients, they really won't mind paying a higher fee if you're giving value to their business. Because for me, like, VA shouldn't be just a task doer. We should be a business partner. We should treat their business as if it's ours. In that way, they will see your value, and they will never let you go. So
because with the advent of social media, Mary, people put out a lot of content showing that becoming a virtual assistant, it's like an easy path to earn millions. Like, it's easy, you can just do it, it's online, you can work from home. But what is the reality on the ground that the beginners don't see? That you teach them that, may mga red flags na, it's not as easy as you think it is. You have to learn so much, not only about the work, but also the culture of those you work for.
Actually, this is the misconception, VAs or freelancing is not a quick reach, scheme. So, you need to learn, you need to have multiple skills in order for you to earn 6 digits. It's really possible, but it depends on the value that you're giving to your client. So, I think the misconception for the beginners is that they aim for a higher rate per hour, because VAs are per hour basis. For me, you need to know your niche first. Once you already know your niche, that's an easy path for you to learn another skill set once you already master the one that you already had before. In order for
you yourself, Mary, how long were you a virtual assistant before you were able to see that this can be a viable business? On your journey, how long did it take? And did you earn six digits as well?
Yeah, actually, I started as a VA before, so I had clients, like multiple clients for the past 2 years, and then from there, I focused on the business, the one that I had with the client. It's really not an easy path. You need to learn a lot of things, and so over the past 2 years, and then I just focused on the business. Pandemic happened, it really grew rapidly worldwide, so that's how the business boomed, I think. And
because during the pandemic, a lot of people were working from home, so talagang naghanap.
So during pandemic, that's the time that I really earned so much. But I really don't focus on the money. I really don't focus on what I earned. What I did is I roam around Carmona, Cavite. I gave back to my community. I gave food. I gave milks for the babies.
How did you market the business if at that time virtual assistants hindi pa masyadong kilala here in the Philippines, and even you yourself, it was an accident that a friend told you about it, and it got you curious and you got into it. Was it very hard to market it out during that time?
Actually, before, it's really hard. Especially in the UK, they are skeptical, especially when it comes to data privacy. GDPR is very, very strict policy when it comes to sharing data. That's why it's really hard for me to convince them. But if you will tell them that you will get a valuable person to work in your business for just a very low cost, comparing to their, in-house, and also at the same time not needing to have an office, not needing to have a, computer as such. It's really a cost-effective way to run a business, and for them, it's like, you can see their eyes light up. Like,
How long before when you started the business na you coached someone to become a VA, and then you were able to point them in the right direction to the client and naging VA sila? Gaano kalaki na ang business ngayon?
Actually, we already have 6,824 virtual assistants as of this moment. Those are the people who, aspiring VAs who we are teaching. And then, so we do not just, teaching them on how to be in the game. We also teach them on how to, be a competitive virtual assistant, because virtual assistant is very saturated market. So
what are the requirements to be a virtual assistant? What do you need to go through? Are there courses that they have to take before you see them that they're fit and they can apply?
Actually, the baseline is having a reliable computer, internet, professional working environment. But for me, it will not stop on that moment. As long as you have the requirements, you also need to know your niche, as I mentioned. You need to know your industry, and then from there, you can get clients from Virtual Assistant Portal PH. So we are the one providing clients to our VAs as well.
Do you still are you still a VA, or now just focus on the business, coaching others to earn as well?
No, I'm no longer doing VA work. I'm no longer doing operational work as well, because that's the goal, right? Having a business is freedom.
Freedom.
So yeah,
Nice.
I'm no longer doing those.
How does it feel? Starting from something that you didn't know, started from curiosity, and now it's something that's grown. 6,000 VAs. You have a lot, several coaching staff that help you, and clients not only in the UK. Where else do you get clients?
We have clients in UK, US, Canada, Australia, Dubai as well. So yeah.
How does that feel?
Actually, it's very fulfilling for me, not because I have clients worldwide or I created a global platform. I think for me it's fulfilling because I am producing more successful Filipinos because of Virtual Assistant Portal PH. So
But looking back, the journey itself, from where you started getting here, did you have any mentors? Was there a family member that, saan mo kinukuha yung strength mo, the perseverance, the grit to be able to do something like this?
Actually, I don't have a mentor. Again, I think, I always say this to my VAs and to any interviews that I had, that I walk by faith. So for me, I think God gave me this dream in order for me to fulfill it. So, I started as a girl who really dream about helping Filipinos, and then there you go, we already have thousands of Filipinos. But yeah,
So they're lucky that they have somebody like you who went through all the hardships yourself, learned everything yourself, and give it back to them. But Mary, today, because of technology, advent of AI, when you look, ang dami ng mga AI platforms there that can do scheduling, can create websites, can do coding, could do so many things. What kind of VA work is very vulnerable right now? Are you worried?
I'm actually not worried. AI is really not a threat. For me, it will be a threat if you won't adapt. So if you won't use, as a VA myself, if I will not use AI in order for me to add value more to the client, so that will be a threat. But if you know how to use that, AI is really a tool for you to increase productivity. So you don't need to just learn the tool. You need to learn on how it will solve the problem of the client. In that way, you will be unreplaceable.
So there's no VA work that can really be replaced, do you think?
Those basic tasks, I think, it can be replaceable. But, other than that, as I mentioned, if you will learn a lot of skills or niche or other things that you can do for the business, plus the AI, so I think, you can easily adapt.
When you talk to your clients in the UK and the different countries, what do they usually look like? They really like more human-to-human interaction than what AI could provide for them? Because if you look at other countries, they're also already way ahead in terms of developing AI. Pwede na nilang gamitin. So are there clients saying, Mary, we don't need you anymore?
Actually, no. For the past years, their clients was asking me if I'm threatened or what. But for me, every time I had these client meetings or have these client meetings, they're not really looking for someone, or they're really not looking for AI to do the job. They're looking for a VA who knows how to use AI in order for them to do the job. Because for me, I believe that the clients are looking for someone who will provide results. Not really someone who will, or an AI to solve their problems. So.
Now, when you look at the gig work, the work that VAs, there's a lot of freelancers, but then sometimes they're in the informal sector. They don't really go through the right process. Hindi na ako ng mga benefits and all that. How different is your company in terms of being able to protect your VAs na hindi sila, they won't be, let's say, short, in terms of pay, in terms of benefits, na kompleto sila. But before you answer that, Mary, we'll just take a short break. More after the break. Keep following the money. Welcome back to Follow the Money. You're still tuned into our conversation on the Virtual Assistant Life with Mary Cavita, founder and CEO of Virtual Assistant Portal Philippines. Now, Mary, you yourself were a virtual assistant. So you know, alam mo na yung mga do's and don'ts. You went through the process. You went through the struggles of trying to connect, let's say, with your clients. The number of VAs that you have now, yung 6,000, ano usually hinahanap nila?
The clients or the VAs?
The VAs right now, yung who go to you. Ano yung usually hinahanap nila? What do they expect? Yung expectations nila when they go become a VA?
Actually, most of the people who are, asking for or how to be a VA on our page, they're looking for a job because most of them came from layoff, during pandemic. And some of them are single parents, some of them are senior citizens like that. So they're just looking for something that, a job wherein they can earn from home and that is more competitive than, because in the Philippines, you need to have a lot of requirement before you have a job, right? So
wala masyadong requirements?
Actually, there's no...
And may limit then ba to age?
No, actually, that's what I love about freelancing is that sky's the limit. Like, as long as you have the skills.
Senior citizen ka na, you can?
Yes, exactly. Even if, you're undergraduate, even if you're a single parent like that. So everybody can, have, a job as long as they're willing to adapt and they're willing to learn.
May senior citizen na ngayon,
yes.
nag-VA under you?
Yes, even PWD. Like, there are people also on the PWD, the sector that, we provide clients to them. So for me, like giving opportunities to every Filipinos is really fulfilling.
So what do they say? Like yung mga VAs mo na PWD, senior citizens na in the traditional work, hindi sila makakuha talaga ng proper work and mataas. How much do they earn? Pag nakikita nila na kumikita sila malaki, what do they tell you? Actually, and how do you feel when they come to you na, uy?
Yeah, actually, it's really fulfilling on my end because it's not just about the money. It's more about the time that they're giving to their, family as well, that they're able to provide as well. They're able to, for example, one of my VA just, bought a car, for example. They're saying like, they used to just ride on a jeepney and now they already have a car. It's really fulfilling. But what I really love is those people who are sending me messages just to say thank you, Coach, because of Virtual Assistant Portal PH, I was able to spend time with my mom, with my kids, and it's really priceless.
Now, kanina, before the break, we were talking about in the process of being a VA, how do you protect them? Um, for them to learn about the taxes na kailangan nilang bayaran, the pay, the pay that they should have, and the kind of work ethic that they should have, at hindi sila naaabuso ng client. So, what kind of relationship do you have with your clients that you tell them you have to treat the VAs this way, and also vice versa? You as a VA, you have to also have this kind of work ethic. Ano yung unahin natin para sa mga VAs?
Yeah, actually, it's very important to have a contract in place. I have 2 solicitors. I have 2 lawyers. I wanted to protect the VAs as much as I love to protect the clients at the same time, because, you know, for me, it's all about, you know, they are the one providing jobs, you know, they are the one providing services to the client. So it's really very important for them to be protected. Regarding the tax, we advise them to, you know, register, because we want them to treat like freelancing is their business. It's not like just I'm just a VA. It's not like that. It's your business. So they are registered on BIR as well.
Is it also regulated? Like you have a business right now that you coach VAs, and the VAs contract work, although they're working here, home-based, but then the client is abroad, UK. Is it regulated? May regulating body ba that you have to, let's say, apply? Let's say, with SEC lang ba? Sa BIR lang ba?
For me, you know, we have this external accountants, so they are the one who help our VAs to register their, you know, freelancing as a normal business. Yeah. Because it will help them. For example, if they wanted to have a mortgage house, you know, if they wanted to have a auto loan, you know, it's very important to have a ITR. So might as well just register it. So that's why I'm very proud. And regarding the protection of the virtual assistants that we have is that, again, you know, there's a contract. So it's very important for the clients to know, you know, expectations-wise that, you know, you should treat them like your own team. Not just an outsourced team. So in that way, you know, it's really a strong relationship between the VA and the client. So.
When you talk about your career path, when you become a virtual assistant, do you see this as a long-term career or just a stepping stone for something else?
For me, it's a long-term career, as you can tell. So it's
for you, because you're able to make it into a business, helping others become VAs. But those who apply and become virtual assistants under your wing, do you teach them about the career path? Ano ba yung how much is the pay really that well?
Actually, you know, most of them already coaches right now.
Okay.
So, you know, it's like they already have their business on their own because of us. So it's really, really nice, you know, that you teach them not just the opportunity, but also, you know, having open doors of, you know, having a business.
Can you share, let's say, a success story that you had na VA who started from nothing and now kumikita na ng malaki?
Actually, I had this. I can't forget them. They're the very first VA that I've helped. I don't have any courses that time. It's just a free help, actually. So they work in a factory. You know, us Filipinos, when we speak with the foreign, we're really scared, like, because, you know, communication-wise, we're kind of like, no, it's not our, you know, I don't know if the client will understand me or not. So they started with that. I just teach them the basics, and then I am the one who, you know, I'm with them during the interview process. So I'm the one who's telling the clients how good they are. And right now, they already have, you know, a really nice life that they
How do you ensure that our VAs are not being abused? Like, you know, let's say the work time, the balance between the time, yung limits, hanggang ganito lang pwedeng mag-work and all that. How do you balance that with the clients that you have?
Actually, we have a contract, so it's very specific before the VA sign
very
the contract.
strict siya,
Yeah,
okay.
you need to know your working hours. Otherwise, you will be burned out. It will affect the quality of work as well. You don't need to be available 24/7 because the client, you know, they will understand if you will be working from 9 to 5 UK time. So just 9 to 5, just set expectations during the onboarding, and it will just go up until, you know, years and years.
Okay, Mary, now we'll move on to our rapid fire segment of the program. Quick answers, quick questions.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with this. Realistically, how much can a total beginner make in their first month? Around how much?
40K, 50K.
40K? How many clients yan?
One or two.
One or two, 40K. So if they have more,
They can earn more.
pero sinasabi mo, balance, you might get burnt out.
Yeah, you still need to have a balance as well when it comes to personal and
Does
work.
it help that you're a psychologist, you teach them?
Yeah, it's an advantage.
Advantage. Okay. What's the biggest red flag to watch for when interviewing with a foreign client?
The VA side?
When you talk to a client, so, trying to get a client for your VAs, ano yung red flag?
The red flags for the client. So, if they have too much expectations, like they think like the VA is a genie, that
They
we
can
can
do
do a
magic.
lot of things. And then for just a small hours, like for example, for just part-time. So it's really a red flag for me.
Have you had to let go of a client that you saw a red flag, kahit na they'll say we'll pay this much?
Yes, for me, I'm very proud to say that not everybody's our client. I still wanted to protect the VA, and we should
That's
be
good to know.
realistic. Yeah.
Now, what's one thing a Filipino freelancer should never do on a video call with a Western client?
So first of all, if you will have a video call, just make sure that you are in a like professional environment. Not necessarily you will be in the office, but at least you have a virtual background, just to be decent.
Presentable.
Yeah, presentable as well, and avoid having babies crying on the
Do you
background.
also
and
prep
everything.
your VAs? Let's say, kunyari, different cultures. You have UK, you have Singapore clients, you have clients in Dubai. Do you prep them? Ito yung culture nila. So, is that one of the things that you do?
Yes, it's part of our onboarding because it's part of the expectations as well. So.
Okay, one overrated VA skill versus one underrated skill.
I think for me, it's not.
Ano yung overrated? One overrated skill you think?
I think for me, overrated skills are.
One particular.
I think it's more about the AI thing.
AI.
So, yeah, AI.
Underrated.
The basics one, the basic task.
Yung mga scheduling,
Yeah,
mga
yes.
ganun. Okay. What kind of Filipino worker is well suited to become a VA and who might struggle? Nakikita mo ba in the beginning?
The industry, you mean?
No, for let's say somebody applying, who do you think would be well suited to become a VA and those who won't make the cut?
Actually, for me, as long as you're willing to learn and adapt, there's really nothing wrong with that. So at least, once we see the person has the perseverance. So for
Well, you
us,
said open to all, kahit PWD,
Yeah.
senior citizen, no age limit, pwede yan, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, Mary, they see the CEO in you, the success, the freedom. But for someone watching today who wants to become a VA, what do you want them to know before they take that leap of faith?
I think for me, they should know first, that, just know what you want first. If this is really what you want, have working from home, because not, even though the requirements are really not that much, but this is not for everybody as well. If you're happy to work in an environment wherein you don't have, if you're not outgoing, it's really hard to be a VA. But yeah, I think for me, my advice is just, know what you really want
And focus.
And also learn, never stop learning, and that's it.
And it's not as easy as what you see on TikTok and on Facebook.
It's not an overnight success, so it will really take a lot of hard work, and you need to be reliable as well.
Yun, okay. Thank you very much on that note. Mary, thanks for joining
Thank
us
you so
this
much.
afternoon, for your insights, and of course, the help that you're providing to a lot of Filipinos who want to work but they can't. The senior citizens, the PWDs, and of course those who kahit hindi pa undergrad, pwede pumasok
Yeah,
as long as
graduate.
they have the passion and the grit.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary.
Thank you so much.
And that's all for today. I'm Robert San. Thanks for watching. Keep it here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel, and always follow the money.